and give it a good half hour to get boiling.
You gotta load in the water too, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're smart, when the one of 30 trains that comes to your small town arrives that day, you just sneak in and you give the coal shoveler guy, half a shilling, and then he'll give you a bag of coal off the cart, and then that's what you use to keep your train.
Half a shilling? Highway robbery!
I actually don't know if a shilling is a lot or a little amount of money.
Considering
Depends
it's
on when.
used for about 1,000 years. All of the above?
It's varied.
Yeah. It's one of those things, in the 1400s, you could go take your shilling and buy a nice plot of land or whatever, and now you could go to the dollar store
and buy like a small candy bar.
So 1/20th of 1 pound. Okay.
Okay, so a piece of gum.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot you can do with a piece of gum. MacGyver taught us that.
True.
Can you start up a manual microphone with it?
Maybe. I also like how we're just completely stalling out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were waiting for it to be ready.
Hello everybody, this is the Electric Metropolis video game tour. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, and we're on to another adventure with Halanak Station and its crew. And I will look to our the person who probably knows the most about what's going on right now. Let's look to Harmonizer logs to see what his thoughts on what's happened so far.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Harmonizer's log. The investigation into the mysterious warp-capable station continues. To this point, Subcommander Varen Rule has been surprisingly helpful. Perhaps he has orders to be. In any event, the station's Lieutenant Captain of the Stars, Seriana, requested and received the cooperation of Commander Thralic and the Da Vinci to intercept a small group of unknown vessels flying within pre-information sphere space. Most of the Starfleet ship's crew, with the exception of their science officer, Ensign Vin, young to be head of department, must be brilliant though, and Captain Pend and myself have left the station on that sort of adventure. I've got some research to do, and without Seriana hanging a banner every time I turn around, maybe I'll get the peace and quiet to do it. End log.
And to a certain security office we swing to look upon. And as the ship, the garrison ship, Da Vinci A, heads off on its warp journey, there are some things that I believe the good Harmonizer would be up to. If I can find Kovic, there he is. Nope, wrong layer. Try again, folks. There we go.
Yeah, Kovic will have come in the morning with his to-go cup of coffee from the little cafe he always gets it from in the morning. Stop by the front desk to get the pad of the night's security logs, and to tell somebody at the front desk to take down the banner that had appeared overnight over the entrance to the security station. And we'll headed to his office, and once there, toss his hat on the rack, kick back, and request that Subcommander Roll join him at his earliest convenience, and then pull up the data I've got so far on the case.
Important question. How does Kovic have his coffee?
How do you mean?
Like, is it black, cream and sugar? Just
Oh yeah, black.
green?
Totally black. Yeah, black. Good morning, Sub Commander. Help yourself to something from the replicator, although I warn you, it's notoriously foul.
What are you having?
Coffee from the coffee shop about a block over.
I think I'll abstain.
A wise Romulan. So, while our Starfleet friends are off herring off across the quadrant, let's you and I see what we can't bring to light on this mysterious station. Do you have the names of the people that the Empire was dealing with for this station?
Let me pull up the file here. Takes out his pad, starts tapping away. But if memory serves, it will be a reference number rather than specific names. The main person would be the only person that would be listed would be the head agent or chief agent, I should say.
The Romulan agent, I'm assuming.
Generally, not always, but generally.
We'll see what you have. If we could find a name, it would give us a string to pull, as it were.
What are you hoping to gain from this particular line of inquiry?
Well,
here it
out.
is. Agent
Yeah.
Celarok.
Okay, not so interested in the Romulan names. Do you have any FIS names? Any Savix Cast, Upatari, Eleutheri? People you were dealing with.
Asset 1, Asset 2, Asset 3, and he makes a hand gesture.
Any way you could use your resources to unmask those assets for us?
Interrogating Agent Celarok, or getting access to his personal reporting device, or being promoted far higher in the Tal Shiar if someone knows more than I do.
So Kovic will light up his a dope stick and kind of lean on the desk. So, what is the status of your agent vis-a-vis the operation and the Empire currently?
Well, it is concern that this breach of contract is of one of two things. It's either a negligence and failure of duty by Celarok, or worse, some sort of self-serving or reckless ploy. In a best-case scenario, he is going to be reprimanded and likely be pulled to some assignment more suited to his abilities, or he will find himself in an assignment that is looks at you. Not terribly. Will either make him a hero or a live hero or a dead hero.
So, at this point, in your professional opinion, you would not classify him as rogue from what you know.
Not yet, no. Not without further intelligence to prove otherwise.
Okay. So, your information doesn't have any named FIS species that what's the agent's name again, GM?
Celerock.
Celerock. That Agent Celerock was dealing with.
No, even the species name was only known as green to green plat as a code word, but I was able to discern from context exactly who that was.
All right. Was Celerock dealing with these people directly, or was he using go-betweens, cutouts? And if so, do we know who they were?
We know that a contract was secured with the alien species in question. And we know that they had a high degree of interest in our reactors and their applications.
All right. GM, and by this point, I know we've been on the base and we've pulled their computers and stuff. What does it seem the purpose of this station was? I mean, was it a research base, scientific? Was it devoted to studying the engine, or do we know?
It was like a technical test bed. It was checking. Hello, Seco Games. It was for testing the reactor and making sure it worked the way. So more a technical test bed specifically for the engine and reactor system.
Okay, so it wasn't like they were putting an engine on a specific type of scientific base or anything.
No, they just found an asteroid, slapped a engine system and a basic habitation unit to it, and a bit of lab space. It's the sort of thing you do to putt around. It's a cheap way of testing an engine, basically.
Right.
Because you don't have to bother using a bunch of Starship materials to build a full shuttle is still takes a certain amount of engineering to do.
Right. So, we know they built the base to test the engine. We assume something went wrong with the engine. I have to tell you that there is evidence that the... Let me find it in my notes.
No.
There's evidence that the shadows of Umbara may be involved with this. And before you ask, I can tell you a little bit about them. I've clicked away from Roll20 by accident. They're a shadowy organization, somewhat similar to your own, perhaps. Perhaps also in the same line as yours when it comes to intelligence and counterintelligence work for the Sapphics cast in particular, not for the freedom of information sphere, the kind of federalized government of the three polities, but for the polity itself.
Game on momentum, as Subcommander Rule kind of ponders what you're saying.
Now, but here's the thing. It was pretty easily found evidence, and I don't trust it because of that. That could just be me being paranoid, but it could be that this organization is involved. It could also be that someone wants us to think that organization is involved.
Has their government officials acknowledged this research in any way?
No, which is why I'm drawn into this. The Harmonizers are the FIS law enforcement body, and part of our purview are experiments that have been going on without being shared with the FIS as a whole, or even informed. So this From our perspective, this is an illegal experiment.
Are these aliens known for their criminality as a cultural norm? Or Bane, as the case may be?
No. But the Savix caste are also less technologically advanced than the Upentari, as are the Eleutheri. And despite the Upentari's, shall I say, sometimes overly optimistic view of things, I can imagine that being that kind of junior partner would grate, and being kind of dependent technologically on your big brother partner might grate. Again, I'm skyballing. The Savix caste are less naturally prone to solidarity than the Upentari. And bear in mind that I don't have a completely firm grasp on any of these societies myself.
And for now, I would posit that the level of organization required for such an endeavor either means that there is a sudden arrival of a criminal syndicate or organization that can fund and evade their government, or it is in fact these shadowy figures in the Savix caste. Either way, you have an organization of some kind that is either state-sponsored or not.
Fair enough. Now here's where things get politically tricky. We also found biological markers for Salp Vidus, who is a quite highly placed priest of something called the Greenleaf Order, which is kind of oddly out of place. Generally, they are they're more interested in environmental understanding and environmental cooperation and coexistence than they are any kind of high technology.
Do you have any channels to speak with these shadowy figures, or maybe more promising, these priests? Perhaps we can interrogate them.
Be advised that Salp Vidus is enough of a public figure and carries enough sociocultural weight that we might need to look at it more as having a conversation or an interview with them.
I leave the semantics to you. I will help you with getting results.
I don't think even the Tal Shiar would approach a powerful senator without a little bit of political awareness.
Oh, we would.
Well, bully for you. So.
Pardon? It looks at you funny.
Old Earth history term. My planet is obsessed with Earth's history to some extent.
Oh.
Long story, with Starfleet screwing up left, right, and center, all at the center of it. But anyway, so what can you give me? The name of your agent that's your angle.
Mhm.
I don't have any threads to pull to get any information from there. So why don't you work that while I see what I can dig up with on my end of things.
I'll see if there are any assets, official or unofficial, that the agent has pulled upon that isn't quite in the report, and we'll see if I can get a name or at least a subspace number to dial into.
Excellent. And when we head out to the supposed origin point of this station, I want to be sure that you are with us. Please note, Subcommander, that I'm being fully open with you, and I expect the same in return. Within the acknowledged limits of your duties.
I'm simply here to ensure favorable results occur. And if I have to use assets that aren't within the Romulan Empire, then so be it. I look forward to success.
Success to crime.
I'll need one of your offices and access to the computer system.
Sure thing. Although I have to tell you, quantum computing's pretty good, but it is a couple generations behind what you'll be used to. But sure. And I'll set him up in one of these.
I've dealt with Remian consoles. I'm sure I can deal with these things.
Oh.
This person is off to work on something else.
So yeah, Kovic's next move will be to, as you kind of described him, this priest is someone who's public enough where his comings and goings, and maybe his public calendar are kind of available or not.
You could probably look it up. He's the sort of person you could probably find his announced schedule.
Yeah, so let me see what I can find out about what he's been doing in, I don't know, over the last 3-4 months.
Reason command, difficulty of 2, assisted by a computer's command.
Okay. Investigative techniques for a focus.
Yep.
Where am I think succeeding task. Okay. So we've got 1 momentum. I will spend that for the 3rd die. Oh. So if I keep rolling that well.
So that's a gain of 2. You're able to pull up. Normally, this would be like a difficulty 1 task, especially for a harmonizer looking up at public officials' movements. But it's made difficult by the fact that you're trying to sort through. You're trying to not waste a ton of time on this. Like you could, because his schedule is their schedule rather is very busy, and it's a lot of that's nice, that's cool, that's nice. I didn't know about that, but seriously, I need to get to the part I care about,
Okay.
But he's not. It's very much an open book. In fact, the annoying thing is it's a little too open. It's one of those issues where overfill of information. Yeah. But one thing particularly sticks out to you. One of the things that he reportedly spoke about is he did a symposium recently about the perils of over-reliance on non-infosphere technologies, and how that can lead to a runaway spike of technology that could result in a hyper-industrialization of their world and devastating the carefully crafted and guarded ecosphere that they were destined to protect, etc., etc., etc.
Right. Okay, since that was investigative role, I spawn due to lead investigator 2 bonus momentum and constable role 3rd bonus momentum to yeah. So I can maybe ask some questions and kind of narrow things down. Let's start with what's not there. Any holes in his schedule or travels that seem suspicious or flag my attention?
Well, it seems that he was going on a during that talk. When you actually watch a bit of it, you kind of fast forward a little bit and get to what he precisely intends to do about it. And they say that it's a matter of seeking out biomes both close and afar to ensure cooperation among everyone. Which, in passing, that may not seem like a whole lot, but the idea of those biomes close and afar, all that's close to them is their home system. That's considered close by. Anything away from their system is considered far. So it implicates that he went to a biome of the Savix Cast that's away from the home system, which, to your knowledge, there are no biomes outside of the Savix Cast home system, beyond the abstract biome of the Savix Cast that live here on the station, but that's not a true biome per se. That's like saying you're a biome of your home world. Like, it's not the same thing as being in a town full of your people.
Right. So do the Savix Cast, when they use that term, biome, do they use it to refer to other species, would they use that to refer to, say, an Andorian city?
I'll take that as another spend. Do you get 2 spends or 1?
I got 3 total, so down to... With that one down to 1.
Yeah, so you look up the terminology and its usage and all that. And it's one of those terms that, if they consider that species very similar to them, so a plantoid or a species that's very tied to its environment in some way, they might use the word biome, but they do recognize through the Upantari and the in theory that not everyone is biome based. Like the Upantari are tied to the environment, but they're more tied to each other than the world. So it's not quite they understand the idea of city or colony or commune. So they do have other words. When referring to aliens, they'll usually refer to whatever that alien claims is a settlement to them. And they'll use, if they're at a loss and they don't want to presume, they'll just say settlement to be generic. There's a word for settlement, which is a word they'd never use for themselves. They'd always use biome when talking about their settlements. Because there's a unique connection between the settlement and the surrounding environment that they happen to be in. The biome and the environment are the same. The people and the environment are the same thing to them.
Okay.
But they could use it for aliens. It just has to be that very symbiotic relationship for them to use that word. There's some alien species where that's true. They go, oh, that's a biome. Hey, it's like us. It's a little different, but, it's their version of a biome.
The Anar, but not necessarily with the Andorians.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. And lastly, what is his last known location? And even better, where is he now?
He is currently on tour of distant worlds to learn more about them. And doesn't really say where he's gone yet, officially.
Okay. Take some notes there. That's my last bonus momentum, so I think I've learned a good deal there. So now I'm going to have to go out and about among the more unsavory elements of the station and see if I can't drum me up a shadow of Umbara or some way to contact them.
Okay, so as you head off on your way, we go to a new scene up to station operations. Boop. Boop. Then, you're not here, Lieutenant Captain.
No. I'm here.
Oh, no. I had someone on the board that wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
You?
Did not go on the mission with us?
No?
We left him behind?
Oh, he was busy. He was busy with some research he was doing.
Oh, okay.
It's science.
Acclimating yourself to the... So, Enziman, you were acclimating yourself to the various sensor networks of the station and what the protocols they use, trying to figure out how your people talk to their people. Almost like a short-term liaison project or cooperation project of just learning about how the Infospherians work. And actually, you learned that Halanak Station's sensor suite is and scientific departments are really good. Like, despite being like technologically behind in a lot of ways, they've made the most of it in a lot of ways.
And I assume there's a decent chunk of it that's like just because of the sheer amount they have.
Well, yeah, there's a whole level.
The whole station.
The level 8, the Stellar Observatory, has dedicated Stellar Observatory labs and recreational stellar observatories. And then there's the various laboratories that are doing... So this thing has a ton of... There's the dedicated crew that are always doing stuff to research things. And then there's private individuals who are also doing all this researching stuff. So there's a lot of hands.
A lot of research.
You learned that the Da Vinci has sallied forth on a mission. So you just continued your current assignment, and
okay, I'm back.
Then you give me a reasoned science roll, difficulty of 4. To see if there's something you notice on
Is
the
the
sensors.
station helping?
It certainly is. It's sensors science. And don't worry, this area is nice and enclosed, so you can't go through the window easily. Just I'd comfort you
See
that
if
way.
there are any storms out.
There are, constantly. It's the Shackleton. There's always storms.
Take 2 threat.
Certainly.
And I'm gonna spend 1.
And so I'll need to roll the station, because its CO is not present.
Oh, okay.
What's
Want me to roll that?
Sensor science.
Doors. Science.
Oh,
Still
sweet.
doing the double roll.
Well, that's the first one was the 2, so that's 3 momentum.
Three momentum generated. You find some sensor readings that are quite strange at the far edge of the subspace telescopes that are attached to the station. And for a brief moment, you find yourself on the bridge of the Achilles, seeing similar readings. You hear shouts of orders, ships at yellow alert, evasive maneuvers are happening, and then you come back You snap out of it, and you see this readings in front of you.
Okay, I have two bonus momentum. One because science roll, one because I got a good roll on my untapped for once. So I think my first question is, when was that memory?
It was in a different layer of reality, an alternate universe.
Okay, so my second question, so you mean I just experienced an alternate universe?
Yeah. You felt a simpatico with that other place and saw what the other saw, and they saw what you saw most likely.
Oh no. So what am I actually seeing on the sensors? Like, what is the action? I'm not spending any momentum currently, but like, I presume I don't have to spend momentum to see what is actually on the sensors.
It's an energy signature of some kind that is a fair amount of distance away. And whatever it is, it's for you to detect it from that far away would require it to be outputting a lot of energy for you to see it, even from its distance. Like, it's whatever it is, it's either really big or using a ton of energy to do something. And that would indicate that it's definitely and you have differentiated it from like a supernova, say. It is an artificial signature rather than a sun blowing up would spike something like that. You can see a supernova for a very long way, but this is not quite supernova strength, but it's bright enough a blast of energy or surge of energy that you see it.
Okay, and am I somehow the senior-most person here right now?
You are the senior-most science officer present at the moment. Because I believe you're assigned to the ship, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the station science officer, or which is probably lieutenant, or something like that, is elsewhere on the station doing something. Like, because the station's not under, it's kind of on an unspoken yellow alert a little bit because of the Romulans, but no one's at combat stations right now. No one's sweating.
And this isn't ops. This is
station operations. Yeah.
Oh, this is station operations. Yeah. Okay. In which case, I'm gonna go over to whoever operates the communications terminal. I need to reach the Da Vinci.
Certainly, sir.
Wait, did you say that vision I got was on the Achilles?
Yep.
Oh, you didn't.
Well, no, I registered that, and that's why
Yeah.
I asked, oh, is that a flashback? Like, and it just clicked in my head right now. It's like, wait a second.
And as you go to hail, a single word floats into your mind. As you hear for a brief moment, it's like a half memory of your character saying something. And the scene comes to an end there, and I'll be right back. I have to step away briefly as we go into a new scene, but we will be cutting over to the Da Vinci here in a moment. Oops. There. I have returned to weird messages in Discord, because that's my life now.
That's the word, isn't it?
No, it's the show. It's terrible.
Corby, you said you weren't going to make those public.
What?
Sorry, it was a joke.
What? What did you say to me? That's no joke. No, I'm okay. The new scandal. What the what? No. Computer, stop. There you go. So, last we left the Da Vinci, it had been caught up in a wave of flame and fire. Narrowly avoided getting torched. But they did lose contact with the ships they were chasing.
Yep. What happened?
What do you do, Da Vinci? Actually, I correct myself. Da Vinci, you're being hailed from from Halanak Station.
On screen?
Yeah, press the button, put that up.
You see Ensign Ven in station operations at Halanak Station.
Ensign?
Commander, we just got some strange readings here at the station. Forwarding them to you now. Can you confirm on your end? I have a distinct impression that whatever these readings are important.
Okay. Forward them on over.
And Ven sends them over.
Your ship has received data.
Right, the data we received.
It's a powerful energy spike. You should be maybe seeing them on your sensors too. If you do, you might want to go to yellow alert.
It's the explosion we're just in.
Ensign Mila, do you have a corroborating effect on sensors?
Reason science difficulty of 3. Ven can assist because he's also seeing it on his sensors.
Oh, so sure, probably shouldn't have Van roll me alert.
Difficulty's lowered because the Da Vinci's being told, look in this area.
Yeah. Sirana or Kovic, or either of you want to grab Mila for this?
Sure,
Sure.
I will grab her.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Astrophysics focus.
Yep.
Cool.
Also, the captain of the ship sends his best wishes. He would like to be here, but he just messaged me in chat, and it's fortunately the internet's being uncooperative at the moment. So all that crap talking you were saying, I would cut it out if I were you.
Geology,
yeah,
meteorology, or oceanography? I don't think so, but I want to ask.
You want to ask, but do you have to ask? No.
Meteorology might be applicable.
Well,
I said might. We're in the Shackleton.
I guess that's true.
Meteorology, yeah. I'll take it.
Spatial weather as well as planetary weather now.
Because you can kind of use the meteorology to in the Shackleton to discern what's caused certain weather patterns. Because it is one of the most active bits of space people will ever see.
Okay, 1 threat, 2 momentum. Analyzing the data now, Captain.
5 on 3, which means 2 is generated. Plus ship.
Grab the ship.
Sorry, the equipment's being a little faulty. I'm running a full second scan.
It's because Haifa was forced to not do the level 1 diagnostic on that system.
State is useless.
No,
That was
I
weapons.
You have to do it
completed
manually.
everything but
You finished it.
weapons. If there's a problem, it's you. Not
Oh, great. So it's just weapons that are faulty. Lovely.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, the
Commander,
weapon's fault was
nope,
brass.
not even that. I fixed that problem too.
Commander Hydra, like as she's formulating the data, you do get like a ding on your pad that like a ticket has been added to adjust the meteorology sensors for faulty reports.
Yeah, already marked as user error. Additional training required.
Wow.
A large energy surge has occurred in the Ada subsector, as it seems that something has caused a significant portion of the nebula you're currently in to ignite.
Yeah, no, so exactly what we were just involved in, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh no, yours is like some distance away. There's a much bigger explosion that happened because the one that you just saw is too far away for Halanak to see yet. Hydrate. Thank
So
you
a
for
different
this.
one happened a while ago. Gotcha.
Well, one just happened right in front of you that you saw easily, and then there's another one that, because you were kind of in the middle of an explosion, your sensors didn't immediately pick it up as a separate event. You just thought it was confused and thought it was the same event.
Okay.
So there have been multiple explosive devices. Multiple explosive events. Someone has clearly been setting off this combustible nebula gas. I'm kind of surprised Ensign Ven was able to pick it up so quickly, but I guess the station sensors were more powerful than I imagined. GM,
Yes.
for one momentum, can I ask the question, what can be done about this? Like, can I counterbalance? Can I adjust the shielding to make us more resistant or something?
I'll hand that back to you. You're not in immediate danger of the second explosion. You're too far away.
But I mean, if it happens again.
Oh.
Clearly something is triggering this.
I'll take that point from you. So if another short-term the first one you saw or experienced was the alien ships igniting the gases intentionally with their engines. Mm-hmm. So in that case, you could have a remodulation of the shields to it. Presuming the ship couldn't dodge it, you might be able to hammer through it. Alternatively, you could have an automated alarm to warn the pilot to make evasive action sooner than they did before, so it'll kind of let science aid in the pilot's check. If it's this much bigger explosion that Ven detected, the only option, given how big that is, because your explosion was small, tiny, it was on an interspace scale. It was big enough that it threatened your ship. Whatever this other explosion was, happened enough to threaten an entire star system. So the only real option there is either to throw up shields and weather the storm, or warp out of there and try to race away from the shockwave. Although with a big explosion like that, the better option would be to run away generally, because who knows how.
Yeah, Ensign Mila does some quick calculations and turns around in her chair with a grave look on her face and says, Captain, while an early warning system could alert helm in time to assure that we could ride out a smaller wave, if one of those large explosions happens again, and the ship is left without shields up, the damage could be catastrophic. Even with shields, it would still be very bad. I do not, in my current position as science officer, I do not recommend we spend any more time in this area of space. It's too stable for interstellar travel, or too unstable for interstellar travel.
Additionally, Commander, since it sounds like you've had some experience out there that might be connected, he just sort of looks to either side and he sort of leans into the screen a little. Does the term Typhon mean anything to you?
GM doesn't.
Give me Insight Security difficulty 5, honestly.
Okay.
What? Sorry?
Insight Security.
No, the term. I didn't even.
Say it again.
Typhon.
Typhon.
Security difficulty. Do I have a focus?
My first thought was a planet, but I'm pretty sure that's Warhammer.
Well, I always did want to cross Warhammer with Star Trek. The Imperium of Man will purge you of your heresy.
I go to Greek mythology with that.
But if you can actually warp places, right, that defeats the whole purpose of the 40k universe, because you don't need.
Don't worry, they'll bring the chaos of warp with them.
Okay. Well, that sounds bad.
Super bad. Every time you warp, demons try to eat your face.
Yeah, because we don't have Galar fields.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure navigational deflector could be adapted, right? Look, if anyone could dectobabble their way out of the warp, I think it would be a Starfleet ship.
It's true.
Yeah.
Military history is a focus too?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know if I could assist you with this, but potentially.
You could, yeah. It's a matter of remembering, connecting very disparate ideas that you know of in the intelligence community. In military community, Boner aptly.
I like the focus of military history because it implies there were some crazy battles and terrible, like, blizzard conditions in the history of Andoria.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of them were tunneling through the ice or, on the ocean, too, I think.
Andorians, you know you're real warlike people when you put in all of that effort just to get to the people you want to murder.
Yeah.
The Tunnel Wars.
Humans mostly just walked to where they were going to fight other people.
Oh no, you did make ships.
Okay, I'm back. Did we figure out what it means?
No, I'm putting together what I need for my roll right now. Deciding whether I need to spend stuff. Or how much I need to spend. Let's see. Trait of decorated military family.
No, that wouldn't help you here.
Trait of hoplite commander?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. That would be something else if I wanted to call it that. Right then. I will give 1 threat 2 momentum for 4 dice.
1 threat, and you're taking the 2 momentum away.
Yep. Four hits and a comp right now.
I was gonna say potential focus with team dynamics of I don't know if Ralph actually 100% knows what this is, but he can bounce off Thralik her own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually does have some idea of the concept, potentially.
Alright, so that hits 5. I will then use a metal to quash the call. Right? Yeah, okay.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, Typhon's one of those things that is very vague. It can mean a lot of things in a lot of different languages. But you ponder on it, and you remember, between the two of you, that there was talk. Rumor is too faint a word, but shall we say there's some intelligence out there, which is, take it for what you will, that there was a meeting among various military luminaries in the Typhon system, where supposedly back in 2381 or so, there's a meeting of various people, including the Romulans, the Breen, the Zinkethi, the Gorn, the Tholians, and some other species. But nothing really happened from it. Like this was years ago, so it's one of those there was this big meeting, a bunch of people went out there to the Typhon system, and then nothing. There was no new fleet, there was no new proclamation from any of the member governments, there was no symposium. It's kind of out of the way for everybody involved to go there. It's not a great place to go if you were gonna meet. You'd meet on Deep Space Nine or on not Romulus maybe, but somewhere this is kind of it's almost like they're going out of their way to not be noticed. But enough intelligence analysts put enough dots together and they're able to find a pattern, and that's the one pattern. So that's where Typhon connects. Typhon, the most significant thing that is Typhon related is the Typhon system and this supposed meeting of military luminaries.
It doesn't make sense that it'd be the fighter ship that the Federation's made. I believe that exists.
I'll also say as well that the Typhon Expanse the Typhon system is in the Typhon Expanse, which is in the Typhon sector, because it's huge. It's in the Beta Quadrant. It's in the same area you guys are. It's not the Shackleton Expanse. It's a little more coreward than you are.
It's like when you're in the town that's also the name of the county. That's all. You're in the town that's in the same township, that's in the same county.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is the closest installation to that, just to give you would be Deep Space 5, I think. Hold on, I'm double checking.
Deep Space 5, the foreign knockoff version of Deep Space 9.
Oh.
Which I don't believe is marked on our maps.
But
One
Deep
that where-
Space Nine was already foreign. It was a Cardassian station.
Wasn't that where Fraser's ship disappeared and reappeared from, the Typhon Expanse?
Oh, give me a second. Very funny.
Oh, there it is right here. Typhon Expanse.
Yeah, the other side of Romulan space.
So, very good for the Romulans.
Flat out.
Kind of good for the Zinkethi and the Breen. Not great for the Tholians.
Gorn.
Or the Gorn.
That would have been the thing that probably got attention, was the fact Gorn ships were going anywhere, let alone across the entire...
They would have had to either
And the
beeline it
Tholians.
through Klingon and Romulan space,
And
or go through Federation space.
I was gonna say, if the Tholians were gonna show up, they'd have to go all the way around.
They'd have to go through
Yeah.
Cardassian space maybe, and then go
Well, if the Breen were also going, they could have...
just gone through their space.
Yeah.
But still, that's a long way out of your way.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it.
Whereas the Gorn, they could, if they wanted to evade Federation notice, they could have... what happened is that they chartered private... all of them basically chartered private transport rather than official transport.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Yeah, no, that's the significance of... That's the main significance. That's The fact that this ensign, who has no reason to know the significance of Typhon, this is just a thing that's been floated for a couple of years. It's one of those unsolved intelligence mysteries, and the thing is, intelligence officers hate unsolved mysteries like that. That usually means you don't have the right intel. Or it's completely insignificant and you're wasting your time. So either way, you're annoyed as hell. But you haven't heard a science officer just bandy that word out of nowhere all the way out here in the Shackleton. But it could be something else, but you both have a funny feeling that it's not. You both have learned that these weird feelings that all of you get from the Achilles, sometimes they usually mean something.
And people
Yes,
call me
Ensign,
paranoid.
the name is familiar. Would you care to elaborate on why you're bringing it up?
Well, let's just say the word came about at the same time that I noticed these signals, and the same time I had a rather odd sensation that I think would be better to talk with you about in private, over a secure channel.
Lieutenant are gonna, move around a little bit and go. All right, Ensign. Communications, reroute that call to my ready room. Yeah, not calm. I was trying to say calmed, but yeah.
And you want that encrypted as well, I believe. Is that my understanding of it?
Centurion, continue the search for the ships we were tracking.
Understood, Captain.
And Sunila, begins to object, but knowing that more important stuff is going on, she sighs and turns around and wants to do her best job to create an early warning system in case another storm hits.
Storm, that was a deliberate detonation.
Oh, and I have a...
We don't know, they could do it again!
I have
They
a...
really want us one.
I have a rank-relevant question.
Yep.
I know it's proper procedure to call Thralic Captain when you're on the ship with her, because she's the commanding officer. Do I still call her Captain, even though I'm not on the ship?
So long as she's aboard her ship in active duty, she is referred to as Captain.
Okay. Cool.
If she's off duty or
Station.
on the station, you could say Commander to make sure people on station don't get confused.
Yeah.
But on ship, there's only one
Solution
captain.
is call her Commander Captain because you can never be wrong. One of
Or
those
alternatively,
is
you
right
can
at
always
every
be
point.
wrong.
I was going to say, or you're never right.
Never wrong either.
Never right, Sung.
We'll hit a diff 4 on that. Just again, the slightly underbowling.
Yeah.
Yeah. The deliberately slightly underbowling. Don't you worry. I'm not using your communications to play games.
He's playing Galaga over here.
Listen, if Thralic asks him to stop, he'll stop. But she hasn't asked yet.
Yeah. I haven't said this requires the highest security. I just said, yeah, encrypt it.
And you're going to your ready room already? And we already know it's going to be the obscurest of kind of whack talk, so...
Yeah,
like, congratulations, you broke the encryption. You still think they're talking in tongues. Like...
It's the same thing as, the Native American code talkers. Yes, technically, you can understand what they're saying, but do you have a dictionary for psychic terms?
I'll give you 3.
3, alright. Boop-a-doop, boop-a-doop, boop.
Oh my god. Well, there we go. I didn't actually do much that time. Apparently. I'm having good luck.
Ship has to roll just for complication check.
The ship can roll, and I can also fix that. Don't worry. I can fix that.
Communications. Ship did not.
Okay.
The ship doesn't like us today. It's all right.
Apparently not. I mean, apparently I don't like me today, so.
Well,
Like...
As you're encrypting that, Mila.
No, I was gonna,
oh, sorry, go on.
value spend something there.
Oh.
I mean, not that a mission objective directive applies to this, but
No.
Loyalty to the chain of command, and I was ordered to do this, so I shouldn't fail in doing it.
You were, yep, you're right.
Good lord. I don't keep it. I'm gonna... No. No, I'm not doing this.
I believe that's
encryption
a
has not happened.
Encryption is going to happen. No. I've got Taken with the Tide, which is signals, decryption, and interception.
Yep, go for it.
No. Not starting the session like that for me. Bad.
Yeah,
Go away.
that's fair, you know? That's fair.
There you
There we
go.
go. And I keep it. Fuck off.
4, 5.
At least you didn't roll 2 nat 20s.
Gained 1. So as that encryption call is going on, Mila, you can give me control plus science. Now I can do a German accent. Hell with me. Anyway, difficulty 2, assisted by computers plus science.
Focus in meteorology still, considering all this is a elaborate weather vane.
I'm
The
sorry?
effects that might cause it to detonate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what I'm doing here is creating an early warning system in case we detect signs that that's about to happen again. So it's
I
like
was
a
arguing
tornado.
in your favor.
Mhm.
Yeah. I misheard initially, and I was like, huh? I was like, weather. I heard weather something, and I lost the second word. Like, what? No.
Oh, weather vane.
Yeah.
But, okay. Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. That's okay.
And then I had it in my head.
2 momentum.
How much is that, sorry?
1 threat, 2 momentum.
1 threat?
Oh,
2 momentum.
sorry. We only have 1 momentum. So 1 momentum, 2 threat.
There you go.
And if you believe strong enough, let's do momentum.
And I'll re-roll the 0 because why not?
Gain 2.
Thanks, game.
Yeah.
And of course the meteorology sensors still aren't working, and you know someone's ignoring my ticket, so maybe I'll just have to fix them myself.
It was computers science.
Yeah. Oh, one more.
Is that? Wait a second. I can't. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's just going to exist there forever now.
Yeah, until Haifa fixes it.
No, the
Haifa's fixed everything.
Well, fix
I
the
got
no
roller
problems
then.
on this ship.
Fix the Starship Task
I'm
Roller
getting
then.
double inputs. It's clearly something's malfunctioning.
Take your other hand off the control panel.
I mean, more, you know how you mouse over one of the numbers and it tells you what the roll was? That's just on my screen. I'm not mousing over.
Yeah,
the
you have
number,
to
it's just
you have to
there.
reload the connection to Roll20, like reload the Roll20 page.
Okay, so I've established that advantage, but can I spend 2 more momentum to say like the scan is so precise that we know even further, like we get an additional action or an additional round before it hits us?
I wouldn't say so because it seems like it's triggered by something, so it's more of a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appropriate reaction time.
Okay, then can I ask? Can I spend a momentum to ask the threat what are the chances of this happening again based off of the concentration of the combustible particles?
Yeah, I'll take that. This seems to be something that's intentional. The nebula, although in its natural state, is volatile to a point, but it's not like it's a class 3 nebula, not a class 4. So it's not it's not ready to go all the time. It's not constantly thundering and blasting all the time. But it could if someone encouraged it to do that. So and if it's class 5, then it's just it's less nebula and more energy surge area. You know what I mean, like the Badlands near Bajor. But class 3, you can poke a class 3 to do what you need it to do if you know what you're doing. So the likelihood of it happening just on a whim or just by warping around, no, you'd have to do it on purpose. Though the second explosion is kind of odd in its size. That seems something that would require something far more potent than a simple engines would be able to create, unless it was like a large fleet of ships doing it all at the same time. But then why would you not see the fleet of ships? Question mark.
Because they're in the nebula.
There's that, yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Is Thralik back from the BRB?
Yeah.
Yep, just got back.
Okay. Well, I believe you grabbed the Ven into your little screen. He's now tiny. Screaming from the little screen at you to be free. I mean, he's just on your console.
Yeah, that's what happens when you encrypt someone into a communications feed.
He can't leave now.
Yeah.
He's stuck in the video world.
It's a DC-4 check to escape.
Beautiful.
You guys ever heard of a little show called Reboot?
Oh man, great show.
Great. Ensign, the line's secure. You may continue.
I had some kind of an extra-dimensional and/or psionic episode.
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
That, as far as I can tell, was triggered by my reading of this sensor data.
All right.
And then a secondary episode when I went to reach out to you to provide you with this sensor scan, in which I became aware of the word Typhon. Captain, what is this about? This
Movements
is
on the horizon.
This is a little outside my wheelhouse.
Best guess, from what I know, there's some movement on the horizon from a bunch of forces that shouldn't have a good reason to work together.
Ben just sort of quirks an eyebrow.
Some rumors that have spiraled around for a while now. Nothing enough to act on, and neither is this, unfortunately. But I'll keep an eye out while I'm out here.
Okay. If anything else comes to me, I'll make sure to let you know through, again, the properly encrypted channels. And if you have any follow-up questions for me, I'll be here on the station.
Alright. I want you to go and inform Captain Pend about this as well.
Ven vanishes
Keep
from
him
your
in the
screen.
loop.
Alright, and gone.
Yeah. I'm heading back out.
Okay.
Bridge.
It's still there.
I'm going to assume we've got, I guess, search pattern is probably the order that was given.
Like, you're starting to give the search pattern, and then almost immediately the commander's back. It's like, oh, that didn't take long. Like, you just got done encrypting, got up to do something, and then, oh, the captain's back.
Collins, I lost signal to the ensign. Do you know if it was on our end or theirs?
Lieutenant Commander Haifa.
Check the security logs. It's not technical or on our side. It would have to be If it's on our side, it's sabotage. It's not technical. If it's on his side, I can't tell you.
Could be
That
somewhere
would be a question
between.
for the science officer.
I just don't know what kind of role it is, but I know that communications is engineering.
Well, I'm telling you, don't even start with like taking the checking the communications equipment. Start with the security logs of,
Fair enough.
because not only is the ship meticulously maintained, but we just did level 5 diagnostic on the communication system, so it's not broken unless someone broke it. So, like, I'm trying to save you time.
Right. I'm just asking from which end was the call terminated?
Yeah, and
You know?
I'm trying to eliminate, like, save us time by eliminating things that are unlikely from our side.
In reason security, difficulty of 2, assisted by computer security. Oh, sorry, sensor security. I'm wrong.
A precautions focus.
I wouldn't take it here.
Okay, I was floating it just because it was like I just did the encryption. I do have a paranoid trait still.
Difficulty increase. Diff 3.
Yeah. I was going to get rid of that, but I keep not getting enough reputation.
You should talk to your commanding officer about that.
Yeah, I need to stop rolling 20s.
I mean, do you really want to ask me to give you commendations? It's
No,
kind of
because
it's
every
kind of a
time
coin flip.
you do it, it's a backhand every time you do it.
Then what do you want?
Tactical systems, given apparently communications is a tactical system.
Yeah, you could check your tactical sensor to see if there's anything that interfered with the... If you're under an electromagnetic attack of some kind.
So I'm to diff 3. Okay, given paranoid's making it more difficult, subtle, because of the reasons that paranoid might be making it more difficult.
Right, nope, open the wrong person. I wouldn't take it here, no.
Okay, I had to ask. I mean, listen, if my trauma Borg is coming into play, then that's just a different problem altogether. What do we have? I'll give you 1 momentum to threat. There we go.
Momentum 2 threat. Gain
momentum.
2. Bam. 1 moment. Clear that away.
And it was sensor security for the ship?
Yep.
Oh, ship crit.
Nice. Which is probably more to the effect of sending a test communication down the line and seeing where it disappears.
Whoa. Oh. Give me a moment, my computer's slowing way down suddenly.
Why'd you hit that button?
Have you tried downloading more RAM?
To answer the engine... Oh, this doesn't help you at all. 1 second. I'm not even in your, in the right roll 20. Boop.
That sounds like it could be a problem.
And then boop. There we go. Now then. To answer engineering's question, you are looking at control engineering difficulty of 2, assisted by structure engineering. And as you check over your sensor logs, you notice that you notice a signature of subspace interference. within your between you and the Halanak station. And it was large enough and intense enough that it basically cut the communication. One momentum is being spent by engineering.
I was going to say, is that identifiable as natural or created?
For momentum, I'll answer.
Yes.
You would suppose biological in nature.
Sorry, what?
Biological. A creature, a subspace creature of some kind. Or creatures.
Oh. Okay, so like subspace creature rather than someone else in a ship causing interference.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so wildlife. What is the... Something ate the telephone line? I probably got that wrong.
Haifa succeeded at their control command task. I assumed those would get anyway.
Oh. Sorry.
That 14 might hit with your better stats.
It did.
Yeah, so you have 3 1s plus the ship's structure engineering.
Alright, I'll grab that.
I mean, if I keep the command instead of the engineering, do I also get command codes?
You have
Oh.
command codes. You're chief engineer. You have your own command codes.
But I don't have the good ones, the real premium command codes.
Well, that's true. And Haifa, you're able to succeed at the task you were up to. In the back where no one was looking.
Because they never do.
No, Serana has definitely been watching you because she's been watching everyone and, taking in what's going on.
You know what, Serena? You can give me insight engineering difficulty of 2.
I was wondering when this was going to come.
Oh, God. Insight engineering. I'm rocking a cool 13. Okay, that's not terrible.
If they ask questions, I'll explain it to them. It's not a hidden thing.
Sarah might be able to figure it out without having to ask. Because the problem is that this is tech that's a bit beyond what Serena's used to. So it's like, what are you doing? I don't understand the numbers on the screen. Or maybe I do. Maybe I'm really smart.
Usually diff 2.
Yep.
Ooh. 1 momentum, 2 threat.
Certainly.
I'll keep the comp.
It seems that a significant amount of energy has been preloaded into the deflector dish to emit exotic particles to a range of about 50 meters in front of or around the ship itself.
Mm-hmm.
Complication is that's all you're getting.
You notice that she kind of slides back and looks over and eventually says, "Wow, good job. I'm very impressed with your work."
Serana is so good.
Yeah, this is all very standard. But thanks.
Well, standard to you, but to us, this is very impressive. You are good at doing the engineering stuff you are doing.
Yeah, I guess if you don't go at warp speeds, you don't really need a deflector dish, do you?
Well, you need something to keep the hostile vessels and stray meteorites from hurting you. But no, our shielding technology is not as advanced as yours.
The clouds loom on the view screen.
Right. Sensors, any luck on reacquiring the signatures?
On the search pattern.
Has Mila been able to find them?
Plus science difficulty of 4, assisted by sensors. Plus science.
Possibly assisted by Khan because searching, like the ship's movements as well.
I could take that, yeah.
All right.
Kovic.
Who are the Ardanans?
Ardanians?
That's what Mila is. I thought she was human, but I just
no,
noticed that.
she's from the planet from TOS with the Cloud City and
The hippies?
No.
The Cloud City and the oppressed miners.
yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you need me to grab?
Ensign Selak.
The Halanak.
Celiac disease.
Okay,
Well,
no.
she's got a disease. I don't know if it's that
there
one.
she is.
She's assisting.
You bet she is.
What's the role?
Reason con
con
for the assist.
Okay.
I'm not going
And-
to focus here. This is diff 4, so...
GM, I will also be assisting using methodical planning.
Yep.
What are we attempting to do here?
Locate the ships that gave us the slip just before.
Full mid of threat, GM.
Full mid.
Precision targeting for a focus?
I'll take it a comp increase.
Yeah. Mila also
Yeah.
gets a reroll because I am assisting, and I have advisor.
She also has daring science.
Also that. 2 rerolls.
Do you wish to use either of them? You don't have to. They're not the boss of you.
I mean, about that, actually.
Yeah, Ensign Mila, steps over to Ensign Silex console and kind of gets in her personal space a little bit as she, points out the correct course to plot to lay to where she believes they are located.
Ensign Celiac raises one eyebrow pointedly and puts in the course.
Course locked in, and you have acquired your targets, as it were. As you've reacquired their energy signature. As they are warping
Alright,
away
go
from
on.
you.
Set a pursuit and intercept course.
And away the Da Vinci warps to go to a new scene. Back on the station, I believe. Yes. Boop. Nope. No? Oh, yeah, I know I was using this. Doi. Oh, and you, Kovic is going to be going about the station because he was looking into finding himself an Umbran agent.
Kovic definitely does still have the requisitioned officer he asked for.
Oh, Talura's still around?
Yeah.
No, very good.
We left her on the ship and then on the station. Then we apparently also left it on the station. So we're like, oops. But
Yeah.
we did say we left her with you.
On second thought, I'm not so sure I want to necessarily stir up the secret society quite yet.
A patience thing.
Well, I'm afraid that if I, let them know that I'm looking into them, they'll just kind of curl up and go away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a threat to use one of my role abilities, the constable role ability. My knowledge of local criminal activity means that once per scene, I can create an advantage representing an informant's information by adding 1 to threat rather than 2 momentum.
Okay.
And the advantage is, I know of some person who has been smuggling things through Halanak Station and heading out to that region of space where we think the space station came from. I'm also going to give you yet another threat for well-informed.
Oh my god.
Okay. What do you want to know?
So,
The answer.
the answer. Yeah, right. Sort of like, who's
If only
doing
it
all
worked that
this?
way.
Yeah. So I
Who
also
do you work for?
I want to know where this person is right now, and if he's currently smuggling. Well, okay. If he's currently smuggling things like he's been smuggling in the past, and he wouldn't be plotting a course, but if he's got some sort of illegal cargo or is sneaking cargo through currently, and his current location on the station.
So, what's the first question you want me to answer? Because I wasn't sure. I got a little confused there.
That's fine. Okay. Is he currently smuggling some shit?
Let's find out together, shall we?
Okay.
Let's grab the person. Let's grab a challenge die. Yes. That's unfortunate.
Where is he?
Currently would be. It depends what you're smuggling, friend.
That's kind of fucking funny.
Man, I'm getting some deja vu.
What do you mean?
Yes, please elaborate.
Last night with what's his name in Fallout?
Oh, Motto?
Yeah.
Oh, sneaking and stealing information.
He would be in the level 5-2, the recreation in a bar somewhere, most likely.
Okay. What is his species and name?
1 second.
Fred from California.
That seems legit.
He's from California, but it's like a fake California for one of the many planets that got too obsessed with Earth one day.
I'll be right back momentarily. Just have to grab something real quick.
Okay.
He's got to go into like his lower library.
I
and
will
find
take
the
that
answer.
opportunity to feed my cat before she tries to bite my foot again.
I mean, your cat hasn't been fed in its entire life.
How true, how true. Pull up Halanak Station. I now want to listen to Talking Heads. Why did I do this to myself?
Okay. Creatures fed.
Sure.
Excellent.
Oh, that was longer than I meant it to be, but that's okay.
Yeah, it was perfectly timed.
Was it? Oh. And they are a bullion named Quillar, nicknamed the Blue Shadow.
I mean, close enough to Fred from California.
I'm going to open up my my QC and contact the security substation on that level, and have two like really large Upentari go and bring the Blue Shadow in for questioning. Make sure to search him and that he doesn't send out any messages on the way to the station.
Control security. Opposed, because he's going to try to evade security, most likely.
Okie dokie.
Smokey. Sorry. Brain power. There we go.
Control security closing.
Wait,
Not
no.
my strongest role.
That's you get for pretending to be a detective.
Fair enough. Players pretending to be a detective. Hopefully the character actually is one.
He's been defrauding the station this whole time. He just saw it. He just read a bunch of books once and said, "I'm a detective," and everyone believed him.
That's right. Okay.
Just call me Kovic Tracy.
I'm gonna call this I'm gonna pitch you the interview techniques focus.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Investigative techniques.
No.
Okay. Then I do not have a focus for this.
And this guy's going to buy full mit because he doesn't want to get busted. Because as you have learned, he is holding and he doesn't want to be in trouble.
That's fair enough.
Would you like assistance with a surveillance focus?
Sure. I'll bring Talara into things.
Maybe an analysis focus. I think surveillance is the most applicable here, though.
That'd be a way to assist, yeah.
So yes, do I want to spend a value here?
I'm surveilling with your sensor system, if that's
I would
possible.
rather have a value in my back pocket later, so I think I'm just going to buy a full mit with threat. So 6. No focus. Do I have anything else I can throw at this? Nope, nope, nope. I'm trying to keep him from avoiding. My only trait is my ocean, so I can't really throw that at. All right. Already used that. Let's see what happens. Not great.
I was gonna say, can I use science for the argument of using sensor systems to surveil him?
I would still pull security because you're using security internal systems.
On that case, since she's using that, can we use the station to assist as well?
You could.
Sensor security.
I had to try for science. She's got a good security, though.
She certainly does. No station.
Why is she like this?
So that's 6 total.
That was a 1. She didn't even need a focus to do that.
Oh, no. Computer, stop. Just grabbing something. No. Wait, really? Oh. I'm in the wrong book. No wonder I couldn't find it. That's alright. I'll find it in a second. Bang. 63. I win. No,
That's very impressive.
Yeah. Damn.
let's see. 3 hits.
Against 6.
So you gain 3.
You're welcome.
As you're able to not only detain him, but prevent him from getting communique out. And pull him to your security office, I presume?
Sure. And I'll call up to Ops and have them delay any attempt of his ship to take off. Use whatever excuse they need to. I don't want them to, lock down the docking clamps or anything, but just if they try to get clearance or whatever, just buy me some time.
Well, it seems...
Sorry, we're awaiting a routine inspection of XYZ.
Right.
Sounds like Ensign Ven needs to arrange that, or at least help the people responsible for dealing with it, so they don't get everyone in trouble.
Wait, why am I being asked to do this?
Well, you notice that in operations, things are it seems that the harmonizer of the station wants them to delay the departure of a ship aboard, but it's one of those. You are still, although this isn't a Starfleet station, you are still Starfleet officers, so you're trying to help either you or someone, you're helping somebody navigate the hoops to ensure that you're not unlawfully detaining a ship.
Okay.
Which, and which way would you say Ven would be helping with that?
I'd say going over all of the various routine. My idea is that there are probably a number of routine scans that one could perform on a ship like this that would, hold it off. You don't normally do all of the routine scans on a ship. You only do the ones that you need to. I'm gonna do all the routine scans.
Presence, command or security, difficulty of 2.
Presence, command, or security.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty of 2. I am going to spend a momentum.
And station will help with computers plus the same, because that's him looking up the relevant things. So security in this case.
That's 2 hits. Wow, that last one was right on the button.
That would be computer security. Oop.
No help, no hurt.
Nope. Yeah, you're able to come up with something plausible, that will buy you time to do scans and stuff, and you're able to inform the relevant people of your deception.
Misdirection. Sounds more, less criminal, rather.
So Kovic and Taora surprisingly don't walk into a bar.
No. So you're going to have him plop him into this interrogation room. Talora, I just need you to look intimidating. You don't even necessarily have to say anything. Just kind of look intimidating.
Certainly.
So yeah, I'll, I've got my pad. I'll grab like a couple of random pads on our way back to the holding cell.
Let me just, slide the knob on the disruptor to kill. It's like, it's intimidating if you look and see that.
Well, I think, just having a Romulan lurking in the room.
I mean, yes, but you're taking the. I'm not even gonna sit. I'm gonna stand off your side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Walk around behind the guy while we're talking. So yeah, Kovic will walk in and sit down. To Laura, like walk in a couple beat later.
You walk in behind the guy as well, so he's
Yep.
got to turn around. Yeah.
Kovic will sit back and scan a pad for a minute and then kind of shake his head sadly and light up a cigarette and then pick up another pad and scan through it. His eyebrows will kind of raise a little bit. Take a drag and then kind of keep scanning through the pad. And keep this up for a few minutes.
She's just watching him.
His eyes dart between the two of you.
Well, Mr. Quaylar, seems you've been up to all sorts of interesting things. You've even got my friend here interested in you.
Is that right? What's your friend's name? If you don't mind me asking, I just like to know new people, you know.
Don't think that's really relevant. And
You introduced them. I'm just being polite. If you want to keep her out of the conversation, I won't stop you.
I mean, if you really want to have that information, although I can't say that it will necessarily be the healthiest thing for someone to possess.
Well,
The thin little smile.
hey, I was told that pain rooms weren't a thing anymore, so you're not scaring me.
No, don't worry. There won't be any, any physical abuse of any kind. I mean, certainly not from the harmonizers or the freedom of information, the free information society. Is that what it is?
Free information sphere.
Free information sphere.
Certainly not while you're still on this station.
Oh, there is that though.
Presence security opposed, as you're intimidating the man. But he is a rather resilient sort, so he's actually buying a full met.
See, I can get a focus.
Is Talora leading or Kovic?
Who do you want to lead?
What's your presence?
My presence? 9. So I'd end up with a 9 and a 5, leading, 9 and a 3 assisting.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have the same presence security.
Do you have a focus?
Interview techniques?
That would apply. Oh no. There we go. I'm okay. I didn't break anything. All right.
Clearly, Romulan naval protocols. That's a joke.
There's 200 experience for that joke.
Yeah. Definitely not surveillance, but potentially analysis of, Kovic says a thing, judging his reaction and judging that reaction to say or do the appropriate thing in response.
What was it again? Sorry.
Analysis.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Are you leading or shall I?
You can.
Okay. Then I too shall buy a full mitt. Hola.
Oh, I was one off another crit.
Boop.
60.
4 hits.
You got
To
a lot of
5.
10s there, Kovic.
You got 5, so
Yeah.
you gain 1 back, I believe. Boop, boop. Boop. And boop. Look. I'm sure we can come to an understanding that doesn't involve the pointy-eared spooks, alright? Can we, we can figure this out in an infosphere way. You and me, we can just kind of. We don't need to involve the Romulans at all. Nope. I can. We can just kind of. I have some stuff that I want to turn in that someone left, and I think, I should give that over as evidence and of criminal intention. Yeah.
Well, that would begin to put us on the path to harmony.
Yeah, harmony. That doesn't sound creepy at all.
But there are all these other occasions when you come through Halanak Station.
Well, it's such a nice station, It's
what makes me curious is why you're carrying. Has he been smuggling something that is like widely used or used by Savix Cast by any chance?
Yes, actually. It's the things he's smuggling are basically a type of brain fails me. A sort of intense pesticide that you would use in aquacultures to get like basically aquatic pests of a sort. But they're banned under the they're banned to be trading without specific permits because of how intense they are and how damaging they are. Like there's this whole thing that he just didn't do.
So I'm wondering why you've been carrying, shall we say, transporting aquacultural pesticides that would be really handy for a Savix Cast biome to a place in the quadrant where there is no Savix Cast biome.
Well,
if there was something you could tell me about this region of space that both the sub-lieutenant here and I found interesting enough, it might be that we could reach full harmony quite quickly and without any need to involve the FIS judicial system.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not judging anyone or anything, and but that's more your job. I understand, so that's fine. It's just, they're just some Savix Cast who are looking to make a colony, and they just wanted some help setting up, and I'm providing a service and helping them avoid, well, not me, but like the people that I'm helping you catch, whoever they are. I'm the victim here, really,
Because you're just so helpful, right? They're just taking advantage of you being helpful.
Yeah, you know how us Bolians are. We're so super helpful to people, and I just kind of wanted to make sure they had the various supplies they needed, and some supplies take longer and cost more when put through certain channels, and if you ignore those channels, things become a lot cheaper and are harder to track. Apparently not, but they're usually harder to track. But yeah,
I turn a pad around and slide it over to him. Why don't you just write out for me every single thing you know or can remember about that colony and the system and what you've seen there. And while you're doing that, I'll do my best to convince station ops not to impound your ship.
Sure.
Try not to leave anything out.
Oh, I won't. But before you go, if you want like full details, I'll need access to my ship computer because I forget things. Like I could say like names. He kind of looks like this, but like you could watch me connect and make sure I'm not doing anything. I just need to pull stuff out of my database. That's all.
Tell you what.
What?
Why don't I let the sub-lieutenant here help you with that, just to make sure that you
dude,
have
we
no
don't really need
problems
to do that.
connecting.
We need you could do that. It's just, I don't need to
Oh,
be
no,
alone
no,
in a room.
She's far better with that kind of communications protocols than I am. I'm, just a simple cop.
I'm here to be helpful as well, after all.
Presence security difficulty 2. He does not want to go with Talora.
She's just a scientist is the best part.
Yeah,
I think this is your presence security.
yeah. I'll say, well, okay, we'll all three go together. The sub-lieutenant will just kind of keep an eye on things, make sure make sure that you're not having any difficulties. And we'll connect him to the ship, and because I'm wanting Sub Talara to make sure he doesn't try and pull a fast one while he's in communication.
So
under the data feed.
So where are you taking him? Because there's no computer in the room for very good reason.
Maybe in here.
The observatory room. So you guys will.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the window that looks into the interview room.
Oh, okay.
I just walk into your office, but
yeah, I think that's probably the best. Then we'll take him to the office.
So you guys are going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that he has to turn to look to make sure.
And as the three of you are walking along, Baron kind of steps out with a pad, looking down at the pad, kind of looks up at you and goes, "Oh," and is about to say something to you.
I
Then
kind of raise an eyebrow in warning, give it a minute.
But then Quaylar screams in terror, and we're in combat now as he's attempting to grab at somebody's weapon.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no, whatever have you done?
Can I smack him down instead?
Yeah, that's why it's going to be a opposed roll. Who has the better gun? Kovic, you don't normally walk around with a gun, so he's grabbing for Talora's.
I have a disruptor pistol. I said it's
Set to kill.
But fortunately, he's right
no.
there. So
He is right there.
I will use applied force and the Romulan art of
I
laughing
think he's
murder.
going first.
Yeah, he's
Romulan
initiating.
Art of laughing murder?
It is a martial art, yeah.
Laughing murder? Do you have to laugh while you do it?
I don't know.
If you're in the circus.
Okay.
The pops make the kids laugh. Well, unfortunately, as Quayla is initiating, he is the one to move, and the target is Telora. So the most Kovic can do is assist. He's not the target of the attack because it would be an opposed daring security roll.
What if I were to spend a determination on some people look better with a black eye to just go ahead and go to interrupt his action and
Essentially, temporarily giving yourself the talent of no hesitation.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do
You have
that.
to pay a threat for.
Yeah.
Should be fine, but yeah.
Tick and tick.
Just in case.
I have did the reading. I'd have a focus and a science score of 5.
So yeah, I'll use applied force where it lets me use fitness instead of daring, and it increases my damage as well. Post roll, yeah, I
2.
really want to win this. So 3 momentum and 3 threat.
Certainly.
Boy, I spent well, no, I didn't spend determination that way, so I can buy 5 dice.
Yep.
And I mean, I suppose if this doesn't work, he's still going to go for Talora's gun anyway. So
Yeah, because that's the only weapon he has access to.
yeah, well, unless he wants to rush the subcommander.
Nah, he's good. those Romans have weird martial arts. He doesn't want to fight them.
Yeah, so it's Kovic apparently.
Yep.
It's the weird same martial arts potentially.
It is.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Hopefully, this is where Kovic impresses some Romulans.
You generate
3.
you generate
6.
3 momentum.
What would she use actually? Let me double check.
Roll me your unarmed damage.
Now, scroll. And is that enough to put him down?
You have a knockdown, so he's gonna hit the floor for sure.
Is it gonna knock him out? Like,
1,
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thud. as he goes flying through the air and whack into the floor, and he's unconscious.
Oh,
Well.
I'll go check that he's, stable and not dying.
Definitely was a non-lethal attack.
Yeah, just in case, because you know how Corbinian is. And also, it's something that she should do anyway.
How
Well,
good? Well, the attack was non-lethal, but how did the laugh sound?
I mean, if he had 6
ho, ho,
damage,
time to go.
he has a max health of 6. So
Oof.
Yeah, so he might actually have a lethal, so that's one of the reasons it's useful to check. If you can stand on the other side of him, though.
Yeah. Well, Sub-Commander, that was an unexpected reaction from my suspect.
it was. They're not one of
Any
mine.
idea?
Well, they roll. Maybe they recognize the uniform, but most non-Romulans can't see my who I serve with. They just know they would mistake me and the sub-lieutenant for Romulan officers, even though it's obvious we're not in the same service.
I mean,
Well, and
the
from
uniform's
what I've been told, your the pattern of your uniform doesn't quite rise to the level of perhaps your commanders, as far as something that might instill an automatic attack fear.
Just because he can't kill on sight doesn't mean he won't have orders to kill someone already.
I don't even know who that
That's
is yet.
That was more an observation than a accusation.
Oh, I know. Just clarifying for the round ear over here.
I am giving you a threat.
Certainly.
Wait, does it have to be threat? I forget.
As
what?
far
No, it
as
has to
I
be momentum.
knew,
I'll use some
he
momentum
was-
for it rather than a threat.
he was just a
Science.
somewhat skillful smuggler.
Maybe that's skilled. You caught him.
But he has been taking things out to apparently a colony that no one knows about in the area that we are particularly interested in.
Generate 2 momentum. Tower, you check him. He broke something, but he's not dead. He'll be fine.
Oh, he broke his third and fourth ribs.
Oh, he did
On
the technique right.
critical side.
What was that?
You did the technique right, because we know from the injuries.
Well, that was a little bit farther than I was wanting to go. I'll call for a medic. Let's get him to the. Well, there's not a couch in my office. There should be a couch in my office.
Edition couch.
Right.
Make it like a big purple leather.
You know, I
one,
could
too,
just-
so it just stands out.
We could just set that with like a quick kit. You don't need to involve people outside the security apparatus.
With a quick what?
With like a small kit, I could fix it up.
Oh, I'm sure that we have a medical kit somewhere in the police station.
Yeah, I can go
Yeah,
grab one.
So, sure, we'll meet you in my office.
Nods.
So yeah, let's get him into the office.
Do you need help carrying the bullion?
No, I am perfectly capable, thank you.
I'm sure you are.
Commander.
Sub-Lieutenant? Go off to go get a kit.
She's not like putting her back to him though. Like
You notice he doesn't either.
yeah.
But he does let his gaze linger a little long and then continues on his way.
Yeah.
Romulan
She don't have-
dancing.
Yeah. Oh, it's just because she doesn't have a kill, or he says he doesn't have a kill order already given
Right.
to him, doesn't mean he doesn't have one. His job is to lie.
And
So,
No, his job is to be our friend. That's what he is, our friend and our comrade, and we will treat him as such.
let's see. Reset that. Knit
I
that.
expect Romulans to be partaking in anti-Romulan discrimination.
Yeah.
Anti-Tel Shiar discrimination. And I am 100% checking what he's doing.
Yeah, this is political discrimination, not species discrimination.
Right. Okay.
Insight medicine difficulty of 1.
Ism.
Giving you 2 momentum.
Certainly.
I
You
know
got
what he's
it.
doing.
Oh, one of you got it anyway.
Yeah.
I
There we
gained
go.
1, gained 2, sorry. Wait, no? Yeah. No. 3, yeah.
In 4 actually between the two of. No, sorry, he didn't.
Yeah.
Make it. Yeah, 3.
This is difficulty 1.
You didn't make additional. Is what I mean.
Oh, right.
I'm good at speaking.
You notice that Varen Roll is quite a deft hand at medical and first aid.
Well, you've got to keep them from dying so you can keep questioning
Yeah.
them.
And yeah, he's doing it. He's doing the appropriate things. In fact, he seems to he uses all the tools with familiarity, even though he's using Infospherian med kits.
Yeah.
I can wake him if you want, but normally I would say to leave the patient to rest. But if I just pinch him in the cheek, he'll wake up.
Why don't you
that?
why don't you step out and let me do the waking up here? I'll keep an open comm channel to you, and I'll connect his communicator from my desk so you can know what's going on. But the way he reacted to you earlier, maybe it's best you're not the first smiling face he wakes up to.
Puts the kit on your table.
Okay.
Oh, before I go, I was going to get you. I found some details that that the agent we spoke about contacted members within the rebel forces within the Empire.
With the Romulan state forces.
If we must use
Well,
that, yes.
So-called. Sorry, that's just my way of keeping track of the two sides. I'm not expressing any preference.
I'm sure. But yes.
And look at the two of you working so well together on this investigation. Perhaps there's hope.
She's just
I-
trying to look at Kovic.
Rural gives you a look as well.
All right.
Really, someone's been listening to Serrano.
Well, no, Kovic was lacing that with a large amount of sarcasm.
Yeah, you're still getting a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Roll leaves, I've got
Vichy French, regular French, you're all working together, right? Well, I mean...
Right. Vichy French, regular French. Let's face it, you're fucking French.
East Germany, West Germany.
He doesn't
we're
even
all
want to help.
Germans,
He just
right?
has disdain for everybody.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. Let's ask Wartburg about that.
Huh.
We've got
Yeah,
the Republic of Korea and the Democratic Republic of Korea. I'm sure their goals align a lot.
Yeah, it sounds the same. So I'll replicate a glass of water and kind of like dip my fingers in it and sprinkle his face.
He swats
Here,
at the
have some
air.
water. Have some. Calm down. Have some water.
Where is he?
He's not here.
Oh.
You're fine.
I've never seen you before. I know nothing.
Just go. Okay.
You just saw me in the hallway. I'm the guy who flipped you over my shoulder and. threw
No,
you
no,
forward
I
and
don't-
tried to grab the disruptor.
I have amnesia. I hurt my head.
He's trying to tell you that he doesn't want to say anything anymore because he's worried that the individual he saw before will consider him a snitch and eliminate him as a result.
I'm not even hearing anything. It's just you and me,
Oh,
stranger.
yes.
There's no Romulans. It's fine. We're
Thank
just by
you-
ourselves.
Thank you for the translation. I had no idea what he was trying to tell me. Listen.
She's just going to smile.
Look, stranger,
Look,
I just
okay.
put me in jail. I don't
Yes.
care. Arrest me.
No, stop. Shh.
Presence medicine difficulty 2. He's hysterical.
What the fuck is happening?
Interview techniques. I know how to calm down hysterical witnesses.
Sure.
I have a medicine 1 up. I think you might be helping.
Well, I've got a presence 9 and a medicine 3, so we'll see how this rolls. Okay.
That's a 12. That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. No. So I'll
Fallout
tell you what.
stats. That's amazing.
I'll give you 3 momentum for 4 dice.
Certainly.
We can't get this guy. Calm down.
Considering with Fallout, we're constantly trying to roll to hit a 7.
Gain 2, it looks like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like 12 is like my highest stat. Fallout.
So you're not working for the state guy, the state intelligence guys.
You mean the Empire intelligence guys, the Imperial intelligence guys?
No. I meant what I said. I know the difference between the two.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Which side am I on?
Whatever side you say you are, but I think you're on the Tal Shiar side. Because you're not trying to kill me.
Still look at Kovic like.
And with that, the scene ends.
What was that?
As we cut back to the Da Vinci.
Okay. She's like, oh, I don't like that because that's kind of suggesting some things to her that don't say good.
I begin to see the shape of the game they're running.
Yeah, like when I said they're going to frame the state, and they're like, that's being paranoid, and now look who's fucking right.
You have the Da Vinci has come out of warp in the actually, sorry, you were catching up to the ships. You catch up to the ships as they are extreme range to a star system. So you're basically it is the target system that you're heading toward. But you're originally it's not that you're heading toward, but that they were where the station came from.
Our intended destination before we went to intercept these guys.
But they haven't got in yet. They're still outside of it. Because you caught up to them so quickly.
Well, I guess that confirms they're definitely linked.
Potentially.
Everyone from the same place knows each other.
And you notice that there is the wreckage of 2 ships, and there's 1 ship left. That's still continuing its course. Oh, sorry, wreckage is a strong word. Derelict is a better word. There's 2 derelict ships and 1 operational ship that's still carrying on.
What caused them to become derelict? Were they just left, or?
That would be a censor's question, and they're at extreme range. So that's going to be a difficult censor's question.
It would actually be insight engineering, difficulty of 1.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm wrong.
I mean, I can make a roll like this, but I feel our chief engineer might be better at that. Winchester, you here?
No, I'm not here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Thralic. The accident was years ago. You've got to let go.
Oh, yeah.
Insight engineering difficulty 1 to...
I've finally forgiven you. That's what I'm here to say.
Insight engineering difficulty 1 to ferret out why exactly there's 2 derelict ships and 1 operational one.
If I had to guess, they gassed themselves. By that I mean the detonation, not...
anything from warp core system, quantum slipstream, EPS, computers.
1 second. Oh, right, you have your own folder, so I keep getting thrown. This folder is necessary because you have various forms. Someone opened up a package.
Yeah, I haven't had a good chance to really break out my Targ form yet.
I look forward to it. With...
It will happen.
Yeah.
Sure, it will be delicious.
Yeah, you've like come as close as possible to being a druid in Star Trek.
quantum slipstream drive with a complication.
What if I don't want that to be the answer?
Oh.
Doesn't have to be that. Well, that's the focus that applies. You don't have to use it.
Take a momentum.
Certainly.
Why do I feel like that is actually the answer as well as quantum slipstream drive with a complication?
So you gain 2. And you puzzle over what's happened, what you've been hearing, what you've been observing from your station. Oh, and I'm typing out the answer to you.
I'll believe it when I see it. All right, I believe it. Oh shit! He didn't even send me the real message. He just said, "Believe it, I'm a ninja."
Believe it.
Lovely.
There you go. For momentum answer.
Yep.
Boop, ba-doop. Won't cost you more. Same answer. The hologram behind you fluctuates briefly as they do deep calculations.
Commander, they've been damaged by explosions, and it looks like the explosion is caused by abnormal QSD use. None of the models I've conducted allow for normal use for even long distance jumps to cause this kind of explosion.
Very good. Sensors. Let me know if we're seeing any life signs on board those ships.
Oh, I will correct this because Haifa would not have made this mistake, but I did. It was not a QSD. It was just a quantum power system. So they weren't trying to jump. It's just their normal energy production.
Okay.
Say, Ryan, you would recognize, just because that's your warp core equivalent, is a quantum power system. It's how you power your cities, how you power your ships.
It's not quantum slipstream. It's just a quantum powered warp drive. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah, so the primary power source of the infosphere is a quantum power system, which doesn't use antimatter-matter reactions. It uses a very specific mineral to cause a certain reaction that generates a ton of power, which also lends itself very well to quantum slipstream drives.
But was this a quantum slipstream drive?
No, it was just power.
Okay, but powering a warp core?
It's as if they took a power conduit or power line and then jutted it into the sky and ignited it.
What? I don't follow.
So there's you doing a quantum slipstream jump, and then there's just literally dumping the power you generate into space.
Okay.
Which ignites the nebula. Which ignited the nebula.
Okay.
So something did that.
Probably
The
them.
maneuver they did to get us off their tail a second ago.
They have matter-antimatter drives, the guys in front of you. They ignited it using their warp wake. So they can't have done this.
Someone else have done this. These aren't the only people operating in this sector. This is troubling. Ideally, we would have a permanent deployment here, but we don't have the ships or the resources for that.
Good.
At your
Sensors
orders,
give me
Captain.
continuous scans for other contacts. Bring weapons online. Hailing frequencies. Get that last ship.
Reason plus science, difficulty of... We'll say 4. Since it's by sensor science. To do your sweep of the area.
I believe that would be Mila.
Yep, I'm pulling up the sheet. I'm probably not gonna have a focus in this. Unless you would really... Geology, if I'm scanning for metals, because ships are made out of metal.
Complication increased, it's related, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being generous.
We'll get her like a metallurgy focus after this.
Please
One-
do not.
I mean, the boring answer is sensor operations, because, that's the thing most science roles are.
Yeah. Boring science officers take those.
Yes, please do not.
One threat, 2 momentum.
I'm
Well.
assisting
With your antennae.
planning.
Alright, I'm rerolling the comp.
Oh, not with my antennae GM.
Yeah, you see Mila begin scanning, and she sort of grunts, and Haifa, you get another ticket relating to malfunction. The manifold that's supposed to be filtering out like the background radiation of the Shackleton on her scan. And she says, I'm sorry, sir, there appears to be some issue with the scan. I'm having to do it manually.
You do have another reroll from my advisor talent, by the way, there.
Yes, and the ship.
Yep. Ship hits.
Why did you... Oh, that was the ship. Okay.
4, 5, 6. Gain 2.
Yeah. You see her pull out a she pulls out a pad and does some calculations on the pad manually, and then says, I think I have them.
And actually what I'll do, I'll pull you to this map. Because you're not in the system, but you're near enough that your sensors would pick up stuff in it. So you guys are out here. You're huge. No.
Ginormous. We're larger than the stars.
Your egos, maybe.
Oh.
Well, that's a separate matter.
You're basically both in the same range band because you caught right up to them. And
In Traveler, you can click on the planets and they tell you about themselves.
Yeah, but the kind of people who play Traveler are the kind of people to spend half their life making a map like this.
That's true.
Not really the same here.
Oh fudge! I keep opening the wrong one every time I want to grab something.
Also, you don't even need the maps. When you go to a new planet, there's only one question you need to ask, and that is, what's the law level? Because we need to know, can I carry around my nuclear weapons?
What's the hexadecimal code?
What do you mean I shouldn't be calculating the Lagrange point of my starship every 5 minutes?
No, the hexadecimal code will tell you everything you need to know.
Also, you should have an AI for that.
2 AI.
Oh.
You notice that there is there's the contacts, of course, the 2 derelict ships. And I did pull you guys over, right? I did. Okay, so there's 2 derelict ships. There's the enemy contact that you're flying after and about to hail. You see the system they're heading toward, which has a Class K planet, which is to say a planet that isn't... It's like Class M, but it's just unfriendly enough that you'd need to get some special... You need some gear to live there for a long time. Like, it's not Mars, but it's like... It'd be like living up on Mount Everest or something like that, near the top of Mount Everest. Like, could you theoretically live up there? Yeah, but you'd probably want something to help with the cold, or the air, or there's not enough O2 in the air, but there's just enough that you could barely live there, that sort of thing. So it's sort of livable, with 4 moons, asteroid fields, and then a gas giant with a single moon. Your sweep detects that there's an energy signature on that moon. There are multiple energy signatures on the Class K planet.
Can I try to classify those energy systems? As in, do they have output levels that suggest the kind of reactors needed to fuel civilizations, or at least cities? Or do they seem like small enough to be ship reactors and potential, like, just small colony reactors?
Reason engineering, difficulty of 2.
Either QSD or Warcore Systems or EPS.
EPS will work.
Spend a momentum.
Well, there. You gained 1, I believe. Boop. I gotta double check something. So, this one here, in the moon, is enough to power... It seems to be enough energy for some sort of installation. Or a large installation of some kind. So that's what that indicates. These little ones indicate fusion reactor systems meant for, like, habitats. So like prefabs sort of things. So not a big installation, but like think cottages, think, small.
But none of them have the kind of ratings that would suggest a starship.
No.
Yeah, then I'll say, Commander, the energy ratings further in the system science is reported are not consistent with ship reactors. Small habitations and installations at best.
Well, Lieutenant Captain, it appears we've found your rogue colony.
So it seems. I do not want to interrupt one crusade for another, but while we are here, we may as well approach them.
Attempt.
You want us to still hail the ship we're chasing, Captain?
Do so.
Hopefully they can tell us what exactly is going on here.
Well, someone did attack us.
And on screen appears... Where are my things? There we go. Wait, no. Yeah. A Tellarite. Who seems to be at the controls. There's stuff happening behind them. He's managing something. You see him turn and say something, like he must have muted as he answered, and then he turns back and hits a button. All right, what?
This is the USS Da Vinci A on assignment to Halanak Station. Your movements and actions have been highly irregular and have brought up investigation from the Halanak Agreement security forces. Please state your intentions and your mission.
Give me presence command difficulty 2. It's not opposed. Like he seems already primed to say something, but something's keeping him from just answering you.
Can
Gotcha.
I assist her by helping her with like the legal aspect of what our due cause is here?
Yep.
Okay, FIS law.
Yep.
Strategy and tactics focus?
A comp increase.
Okay, team dynamics then, because I'm working with the lieutenant captain.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, she butts in and says, as per regulation of all flagged vessels in
Yeah.
upper space, section 3, article 2, subparagraph 9.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'll spend one momentum, I guess, here. But, yeah, only 3. Cool.
You're hereby obligated to assist us with an investigation pertaining to open security matters relating to our space and our security, etc., etc.
Wait. You're not here for the Federation. You're here for those Infosphere guys. Am I understanding you right?
Sirena like blinks her lights in accordance and agreement.
That would be correct.
Am I under arrest by the Infosphere?
Have you committed a crime?
You're accusing me of one, aren't you? I didn't quite follow those regulations. I got lost after a bit.
We are compelling you to... okay.
You're being questioned.
Yes. You are...
Not
You're
arrested.
discordant.
You are being... You are not under arrest as of this moment. However, you are a person of interest in relation to a series of unusual happenings operating on the border of our space. And we are compelling you to answer our questions, to maintain harmony, or you may be under arrest.
He taps something and then he pulls a lever somewhere and then his ship drops out of warp. He stops.
I'll signal to Khan to match that.
Look. Oh, I didn't even say who I was. Sorry. I'm Gralk.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah. I'm glad you find pleasure in it. He nods. So, I have a favor to ask, but I'll answer your questions first, so I don't get arrested for disharmony.
That would be wise. What were you doing out here in unregistered, unsettled space with these other vessels?
Fulfilling a contract.
A contract to whom?
The contract binds me to not share that information.
What do you know of the subspace explosion that rocked our vessels in this sector? Sector Ada, I believe.
Well, I mean, we thought you were going to attack us, and also I didn't want the Federation coming after us, so I ignited a trail. That one was us. That other one, that came from that stupid moon near the gas giant.
In this system, you mean?
Yeah. The minute we started getting in, we made sensor contact, and all of a sudden there was this surge of energy, and it just ignited, the whole nebula ignited around us.
So you're admitting guilt to the smaller explosion, but not the larger one.
Yeah. Could I get some assistance for the other ships? I was trying to figure out how I was going to rescue them, because right now, I mean, I could try to do my contract, but at this point, I don't see how I'm doing it by myself, and I have 2 other ships that are down, so...
Captain, we are compelled to help all endangered vessels in our space.
Hive will step forward excitedly. Commander, permission to take damage away teams over.
Granted, Commander.
Additional request, permission to take security forces to effect arrest. Because as Haifa looks kind of uncertain at Serana, because people just did admit to crimes.
I was just going to say, GM, I assume as much, but I would like to be clear that I assume igniting subspace explosions and in an attempt to damage or disable an FIS flagged vessel is a crime.
It would be, yeah.
Functionally committed assaulting a police officer? Okay. Then,
yes, actually, I'll actually blunt that for you. It's not so much assaulting a police officer or security a harmonizer force, because they didn't know that's what you were. But it is still endangering a space vessel, so they still get detained for that because they endangered space travel.
And they're causing environmental destruction. They were like rolling coal. Yeah.
Then I'll modify my request slightly to, permission to take the engineering teams and permission to take, I guess, I don't know if the term in Starfleet is still prize crew, right? But like an officer with some enough personnel to commandeer the ships.
A skeleton crew.
Yeah, skeleton crew for each ship.
Do so, Commander.
As of this moment, Mr. Grulk, you are hereby detained for violating spatial environmental laws and disrupting the flow of commerce to the FIS. We will take you back to Halanak Station, where you will be tried and where you will receive legal representation and be tried. Until such point, you are to be held in our care.
Fine by me.
Captain Thralic, I assume your Starfleet are capable of committing or executing this warrant?
Of course.
Thank you.
Mr. Gralk, if you could bring your ship around.
Yep. Engine's answering all stop. Do you want me to land in your... Well, you're not big enough for that. Never mind. Do you want me to just sit still then?
Yep, stay there.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to the return trip, do you wish me to be aboard their bridge? Captain.
Probably be wise.
It did sound like Lieutenant Commander Haifa was excited of the possibility of taking command.
I think he's going for the 2 derelict ships, correct?
This
Or have
is
I
true.
misunderstood?
Yeah. That was
You
my
would be correct.
understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the duty, the Oh no, these are relatively small ships, aren't they, GM?
They're like scale 2s or 3s, I think.
I think there were 3s.
Yeah.
Scale 3 is like a Nova class, right?
Nova class, Saber, Defiant. They're pretty small ships.
Mhm.
That's also that's the size of most civil freighters, to give you another gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I guess the... I don't think so. I assume Haifa's had her fair share of opportunities as a lieutenant and an ensign to command away missions, like temporary away missions. So I don't think she's that excited about this.
Okay.
More, she's interested in getting to see the ships and their technology.
Yeah.
But I did plan on giving Ensign Sarai and Cham and maybe one other unnamed lieutenant command experience by leaving them to return the ships.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it sounded like at first you mean just the derelict ships rather than the one that was functional. But if that was the intent, then yeah, no, probably won't go over.
Makes sense.
The council. No.
Oh, so yeah, to clarify, Haifa does intend to return. I don't think the other 2 are, though, because they're going to take the ships.
That sounds
Gotcha.
good. Mr. Falk, is there anything you can disclose about the nature of your contract?
It will paying. And with insurance if I get arrested, so I'm looking forward to finding out how much lawyers cost around here. Which, Serena, when he says that, you know they're free. Infosphere.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and says, don't be so barbaric. Legal representation in our society is completely free of cost. Lawyers do it out of their civil duty, not for the sake of monetary gain.
Oh God, it's another federation.
He kind of smiles at that. Well, her imitation of a smile, and says, yeah, yes, our values are quite similar.
You turn a very
Could
pleasant
always be
color.
far worse.
Says the Centurion. But as for the rest of it, there is one thing I have to make very clear. All these ships are trade secrets of my employer. So I must remind you that you may affect. Where is it? Hold on. There's a whole pad. Give me a second. There, I got it. 1 second. I have to read this legally. Hold on. He scrolls and scrolls. There it is. You are hereby allowed to effect the repair, mending, and undereliction of this starship and its companions, but any and all data pertaining to and relating to the actual functions will hereby be marked as trade secrets that shall not be violated as pertaining to the Treaty of Vanal, the Treaty of Mac, and the Treaty of 237. That must be a planet or something.
Jim, are those treaties that the Federation is a signatory to, or the FIS?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Reason plus command, difficulty of 1, using the ship's computers plus command. It'd be something you could look up pretty quickly.
And I would say Ralph's hardly looping Haifa in once it's sounding like there's something relevant to the away mission.
Mm-hmm. Want
So
me
it's
to
just
take
like
the
an
roll?
audio feed to
Yeah, go
Haifa
for it.
kind of deal.
I mean, I'm sure you can update me. I don't think I've left the ship yet, right? We
No,
have
it's
to
just
go
more
down
like
to engineering bay
you're
to get equipment.
prepping for the away mission, so it's giving you information on the away
Yeah.
mission while you're prepping for it kind of deal.
Right, GM, focus in Shackleton affairs, considering this relates to what kind of treaties we signed relevant in this area.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of role would this be? You said Insight Command?
Reason command.
Reason Command. So I've got to focus. You had Diff 1 or Diff 2?
Diff 1. Reason command or
Con.
con. I'd take either one, but I assume command's better for you.
Sure is. I have a con of 1.
Yeah.
What kind of starship do you have? A red one. All right. 1 momentum.
Oops. I just
You
scrolled
got
down.
a red one? Cool.
Those go fast. 3, so you have 1 float. Those are commercial treaties that the Federation is signatory to. That's relating to treaties between the Breens and Kethy and various other allied powers. Not allied, but signatory powers. Federation's included in that one. The second treaty is one that relates to the Romulans and the Klingons, as well as the Federation and other signatories. And the last one is related to the Tholians and the Gorn in the Federation and other related powers. Like
So the
basically, they're
FIS is
different
not a
treaties for different
signatory of
areas.
Any of these treaties?
What was that? Sorry.
So the FIS is not a signatory of any of these treaties. These are commercial treaties for Alpha Quadrant powers.
Alpha Beta.
Alpha.
And Beta.
Yeah. I'll take your one. Well, actually, no. That one stays there because that was part of your role to begin with. The FIS is not currently a signatory. By way of the fact that its only connection has been the Ferengi and like independent traders and the first formal contact with the Alpha Quadrant people was the Ferengi and the Klingons because of Arillis, and then the Federation afterward with the Halanak agreement. So in theory, at current you're not, but in the near future you might be.
Okay.
But at this exact moment, you're not. But in the near future, the Parliament may ratify those things to be in line with the Federation.
And
Alright.
do any of those treaties give the right to the arresting or investigating officer to determine if this rule applies, right? Because you could just say, you can't touch my secret illegal documents because they're trade secrets, right? But
Yeah.
then someone has to look at those and say, oh, yes, that is true. These are trade secrets. But this is just you signing a document that says I commit crime, right?
Well,
Yeah.
That
also,
doesn't
I believe
count.
once you use a trade secret in
Yeah.
a criminal activity, it's no longer
So who
protected.
who gets to make that decision?
Serena,
secret. My business is hitman. Is being a hitman.
you can spend that momentum to get an answer to that.
We have a trade secret. It's called assassination.
We're not the Telshiar. But yes, you do have a momentum to ask that question.
Or
Serena.
are you?
Yeah. We have a trade secret. It's called poisoning.
That's your decision, Serena.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want to ask that question?
Sure, yes.
Yeah, you're allowed to. A member of the FIS or an agent therein can examine to ensure that it is actually a trade secret and not you just saying it is. And that's also in line with how the Federation would do it. They would have the security officer, whatever officer's there, to check and go, what's trade secret? Okay, I'll check it with my logs to see if it counts.
I will remind Mr. Grolk that per subsection 3, that any investigative authority may examine such evidence to determine if it's a trade secret or not, and that the officers, and this is when she'll loop Haifa in through a comm, and that the officers aboard such vessel are still allowed to examine any and all evidence related to the crime being investigated.
He scrolls through his pad and goes, oh, this thing's stupid anyway. Tosses it into a drawer and types at his computer. Oh, hey, you're right. Okay. I shouldn't get sued. Glad we're in agreement. And that document made sense to you.
Don't worry, sir. If you are sued, I'm sure we can find you adequate legal protection.
Aren't you all generous as jelly? So to speak. He looks as he realizes what he just said.
The lawyers in this nation may work pro bono. They do, however, expect quality gifts, especially if they are in a serious case, and doubly so if they've actually won the case.
Oh, so they're Roman advocates, is what you're saying. You didn't pay Cicero. You just gave him a house.
They expect tribute.
Yeah, here's my via in, the Italian Riviera. Now will you represent me?
I have to grab the relevant.
Gladly.
Let's grab Grell Culver over here as well, because that matters. Boop.
I was summoned here by humans who have chosen to pay me tribute.
Humans.
Tribute? You take men's souls.
And yes, I would like to step into a side room and use my quantum entanglement communicator to try to contact the station again to update them on what's happened.
You do a quick dial, you press the irrelevant code, and red light blinks for a few seconds, and then turns green, lets you know that you have connection.
Station operations. This is Lieutenant Captain of the Star Sierrana, here to give you an update. We have apprehended several suspects engaged in several crimes in the area. We are currently at the planet of origin for the meteorite station, for the rogue meteorite, and will begin investigation immediately. Is there anything you would like to inform us about station coming and goings?
Is there anything that the station would be informing them about from either Ven's desk or from Kovac's desk? Like, they themselves aren't the one necessarily answering, but someone on their behalf might fill in ops what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet, because we hadn't got the information we were after yet.
Yeah, that's very much where Ben is.
But you two learn of what's happened, because I believe Serena updates on what's happened to Da Vinci A so far.
Yep.
I will tell her that we've received confirmation of a unreported Savix cast colony at the general location of where we believe the rogue base came from.
Pending names and information.
Yeah.
Understood.
All right. So to effect repairs of these ships, of the two ships, actually, Haifa, are you looking to have the whole team together on each ship, or are you spreading out across the three ships?
No, everybody goes together to effect the arrests. And once I'm confident that there are no unarrested individuals on any ship, then the skeleton crews will be split up, and the engineering crew will jump from one ship until they're all three complete.
Okay, so you're sticking together for the repairs. I'll put you somewhere I can see your names a little easier.
And I'll give you a momentum, because I am going to change a token. Oh. Haifa's going to go over as a teller here.
I just
There is
said
actually a means to make a token,
Hey,
air quotes, flippable, and you could do that with a character token as well.
yeah, I know. It's just more work than I want to bother with at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
What?
To make a token flippable, so you could essentially just right-click your token and choose which face you wanted on the token without having to delete and replace.
Oh, yeah, I just asked him to give me a folder of sheets.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So yeah. To effect the repair of these ships to make them At the very least, they're not endangering the crew anymore. So it's safe for people to be on the ship, so they won't blow up the minute you go to warp. It will be control plus engineering. Difficulty of... One second. Yep. Difficulty of... No, not 2. What am I doing? Difficulty of 4. Succeed at cost can happen in that you will fix it. It'll just take a long time to do it. If you get it difficulty 4 one go, then it's fixed rapidly. As for the rest, that's easy. Once Grolk is, fairly confident that he's just being arrested by Infosphere, he's like, oh, okay. Everyone cooperate.
I'd like to look him up in Federation databanks and see why exactly he doesn't want to be arrested by Starfleet.
Sure. I'll do that after the Haifa roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. As I imagine these ships being commercial ships that are kind of small, they don't have large stores of equipment, right? To make replacements with.
They have some spare parts, but not a huge amount, no.
Would you accept not every problem has an acceptable solution because of the state they're in? Because I have to make some compromises to get them back? Or is there enough that I really don't have to compromise?
You could do that, and what I would do is I would spend 2 threat. Actually, I'll spend it now and just commit myself. And if you back off, then I just lose the 2 threat, because that's how this works. So the complication is that if you do compromise on the repairs, no one's going to get hurt because half of the arrest is just making sure people aren't on the ships anymore, so they're not in danger. It's more that I'd roll an effect for each of the 2 damaged ships, and if I roll, I'd roll a challenge die. If I roll an effect, it would basically break apart during warp because the repairs weren't quite enough to keep it going.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to intentionally do a bad job. It was more of a question of, do I have everything that's needed to actually do a good job? Because if I have everything I need to do a good job, then yeah, I wouldn't use that value.
Yeah, you could use the value, but the exchange would be you would have to use less. But there is enough that if you're willing to, you'd be able to do it the longer way or more difficult way.
The more tedious way.
All right, then what about either investigate unknown contacts or cooperate with the FIS and allies as mission directives? Since this is a joint operation and these are the unknown contacts.
I'll take the second directive you cited.
Investigate the unknown contacts?
The other one.
Okay, cooperate with FIS and allies.
Yep.
Okay. I'll do that.
Because the investigation role is a different role you'd be doing. I can't hear. 1 second, folks.
Yeah, I do want to go
out.
over their computers. That's why I asked about the whole. Are we allowed to examine the documents? Just haven't got there yet. EPS systems, warp core systems, QSD.
I have to look at the sheet.
Or might I ask? Well, I guess I'll let you decide if any of those work. Because my other suggestion would be, if I'm not personally turning wrenches, presence engineering and using Starfleet Protocol instead to.
I would use Starfleet Protocol, but I would still call for control because you're giving detailed instructions.
Okay. Well, that's better for me.
Yeah.
3 momentum. And I think I gained 3, so I'll use 2 to quash and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you gained plus 2 more. So gain 3. But you're quashing with 2.
Yeah, because I can't use Chief Engineer here, right?
Right, because you're off your ship. Yeah.
Okay.
This is more of an abbreviated away missions because you're going to the 3 different ships and checking them over. But yeah, you're able to stabilize them enough that they can be. The Da Vinci could tow one ship, and one of the freighters could tow the other one.
Oh, the repairs are not enough to get them underway on their own?
Yeah, no. They're too badly damaged. But you made them so they weren't going to break apart the minute you hit warp.
Would an advantage spend get them there?
I would get one of them there.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then we can dispatch them without the Da Vinci. I'll call back to Commander Thralic and say, Commander, I have all the ships. I'm not going to spend it yet. I'm going to ask Thralic.
Oh,
for
sorry.
permission first. I have 1 ship warp capable and 2 ships warp stable but not capable. I could get 2 ships warp capable, allowing us to return all 3 to base without the Da Vinci. But it would be a waste of resources if you intend to tow them anyways. My suggested course of action is that we repair them and dispatch them. We have competent officers and crew, and it would free the Da Vinci to act in this region.
My thoughts align with Commander Haifa's. However, the decision is, of course, yours.
Suggested course of action sounds advisable. Yeah.
Understood, Commander. Take an additional amount of time, and then I'll cut the comms, and we'll restore warp to one of the vessels so that together they can tow the 3rd one back. And I guess dispatch temporarily Captain Sarai and Commodore Chom. He's got more than 1 ship in his group. That makes him Commodore Cham for a short period of time.
And Thralic, give me reason command difficulty of 2 to look up. Reason security difficulty 2, assisted by computer security.
All right. Observation focus.
Yep.
Right. And given that I am myself a former security officer, would the trait Relentless fire here by chance?
Not in the time frame you have.
Okay. I'll spend the 1 momentum.
Yep.
Make 3.
You notice that Grolk, as part of that consortium of his, among other mercenary contracts, has priors for engaging in destruction of property, unsafe operation of a starship, and various other things in the United Federation of Planets that if he got busted again by the Federation, he would have a much harsher sentence than normal. So it's to his advantage to be arrested by the FIS rather than the Federation.
Okay.
However, I assume the FIS and the Federation, as part of the Halanak agreement, maintain some kind of extradition. I assume once he's in our system, they can also try him for those crimes as well.
Oh, they just have to put forth to Parliament and have Parliament vote on it.
Yeah, so like...
Okay.
That seems clunky.
I mean, the alternative, of course, is when he gets let go from the FIS, just let the Federation know, hey, this guy's coming back.
Well, he's not wanted for anything else.
Oh, he's not wanted right now?
No, he just has priors.
Ah.
So if he's punished by the FIS system, then he's free. He gets a lighter sentence with the FIS rather than suffering Federation law.
Fair enough.
And I'll say, depending on Thralick's orders, I'll arrest Thralick, according to, like, I'll either tell him at the time you're being arrested by Starfleet or you're being arrested by the FIS, depending on what the order was.
It's an FIS arrest.
So noted.
On behalf of the FIS?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's on behalf.
And Jim, is there a chance to get info off of their computers?
For 2 momentum, sure.
Yeah.
As you'll have time to pour over to see what part of that trade secret and what's not. And we're going to end the scene there. As the ships start heading back to Halanak Station, and I believe the Da Vinci A is heading into the system.
Mm-hmm.
Cut back
That's
to
correct.
the security offices. Where Talora and Kovic are speaking with Quaylar.
I'll make the note of changing the disruptor settings from lethal to non-lethal.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's technically a thing. I think it's just where you aim.
It's where you
High
aim,
power
yeah.
to low power.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
They're still lethal either way.
All right.
Hit them.
From regular power to disintegrate and back again.
Yeah.
So... So you don't work for the state, then?
No. Sorry, I get the two confused.
Apparently so do I.
Which side do you believe the Tel Shiar is on?
Tal Shiar
Kind
side?
of shoots her a warning glance.
Okay.
So the state's been giving you a hard time, I take it.
Well, I mean, they... Yeah?
This in the region that you've been taking that insecticide to?
What was that, sorry?
You run into them down the region you've been taking, that the region of that Savix Cast colony, or elsewhere?
Both.
Huh. Well, there's a little extra bit of information. But you were going to get us information about that system and its colony and all that good stuff. Here, you can use my terminal. I kind of walk him over.
And this is where Talora was going to monitor it in terms of
He types
are
out
you
it.
sending a screamer or anything like that? Are you doing anything other than what you're supposed to, kind of deal?
No, he looks like he's doing everything on the up and up.
Except for the threat spin.
And then he gets the connection. He holds his hands up so he's not touching anything while it's connecting. Like, it's extreme. He's being a bit dramatic. He doesn't.
Right.
He just, as he waits for a load screen, he gets connection to his computer. He taps in personal logs, business logs, password, biometric. Puts his thumb into the biometric contact. Starts pulling up files. There's a bunch of files on various deals he's done and places he's gone. And then you see various gaps throughout his log. What? No. I didn't do this. You saw me. I didn't do this. Where are they? He starts scrolling up more and more, and you see there's huge chunks of regular stuff where it's going all other places, but everywhere, anything that has to do with moving around in the Shackleton is gone. Even him getting here to Halanak Station's gone. And he's been here multiple times. You know that, Kovac, because you've seen him even before Starfleet got here.
Right. Kovac, would you like me to attempt a data, autopsy and recovery?
I think Mr. Quaylar might appreciate that as well at this point.
Yeah?
If I may?
Yeah, sure.
It's the idea of when you delete something, there's always something left of it, even if it's not always there, which might just be a footprint or access logs or something. That's what she's looking for. On the digital side of things, a trail.
You start looking it up, and you're trawling through the database and looking into its fainter systems and finding the particulars, and then you notice something as you're starting to pull this data together, or at least what you can recover, because some of it's just gone, but there's a lot of it you'll be able to get back. You notice that this technique is too sloppy for Tal Shiar. This is a state security officer eliminating evidence. And with that will be the end of the episode. As we have effected an arrest, learned some secrets, and still have a strange planet to investigate, and maybe some allies, to investigate as well. Everyone who is watching, thank you very much for watching. Everyone who's playing, thank you very much for playing. We hope to all see you again next time.
Wonderful. This is gonna be great.
Now, on the bright side, Kovac has favors with Talor to be like, what did you find?
Yeah.
What'd you find?
First thing next episode is you bust in on the other guy. What are you doing?
That's the immediate, like,